Welcome back, viewers. We are seconds away from the opening of the first Apple store in the national capital in New Delhi. Just now in the store behind me, behind this quadrangle, everyone in green has come out from inside the store. These are all Apple employees and they're chanting Saket, 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 Saket. And I expect that in just a couple of seconds, as this noise builds to a crescendo, we will see Tim Cook himself perhaps come out like he did and welcome the first customers in, like we witnessed in BKC in Mumbai. The visuals are similar. The setting is just slightly different, but the fanfare is almost exactly the same. The Apple fans are out in numbers. There you see just a floor below, you can see how there are droves of people who have been lining up since 6 a.m. These are all the customers who are waiting patiently in the lines to be allowed into the first Apple store to open in the national capital. And there are constant oohs and ahs ongoing. From somewhere or the other, a corner of this mall's quadrangle, you will notice someone start a chant and then it will progress almost like a Mexican wave. There is a stadium type of atmosphere here. If I can show you the visuals of people who are awaiting the shops opening on the third floor as well. This mall, which is normally perhaps not crowded at this time on a Thursday morning at 10 a.m., is witnessing a big gathering of people, all Apple fans who are awaiting the opening of, after 25 years of operations in India, the first store of perhaps the most storied technological consumer tech company in the world in the national capital of India, Mumbai. Just 3 days ago, we had witnessed how in BKC's Mumbai, and there you see, there is Tim Cook. There is Tim Cook, the chief executive officer of Apple. He's come out, he's dressed in uniform, he's wearing black, amidst a sea of his green-clad Apple quote-unquote genius employees. Day is along with him, a top Apple executive. And we are giving you the first visuals of Tim Cook. There he is on your screens right now. He's met the Prime Minister just yesterday. He's visited India many times. We've had a number of occasions where senior ministers of the Indian government, including Prime Minister Modi, have visited him in California. And the countdown is beginning. 4, 3, 2, 1, and there you go. The first Apple store in New Delhi has been inaugurated. You have witnessed it live. Yesterday, where you see Tim Cook standing, was a painted, colored facade. You could not see the store behind it. It was a motif that brought to mind Delhi's history. The fact that Delhi is a city of many gates through the years and through the generations and ages and through various empires that have ruled here. And today that facade is nowhere to be seen. Its motif can be seen on some of the signage in and around the Apple store. It's a smaller store than we saw in BKC. It is perhaps a little more compact, but at the same time, it is a very important development that's taken place. It signifies so much because not only is this a culmination of Apple opening a store in India, the path that has taken to come to this point has been long and winding. A couple of years ago, people would have thought it was not possible because to open a store in India, Apple needed to fulfill several manufacturing and local sourcing requirements. And Apple, if you remember, was famous for manufacturing at low costs from China. It is a Cupertino, California-based company that manufactured at high profit margins from Foxconn factories in China. Now Foxconn has diversified. It's opened up factories in India as well. And as of last count, about $7 billion worth of Apple consumer technology and products were manufactured in India annually. So India has become a large hub for the manufacture of Apple devices. It is also exporting, and that has paved the way for the opening of the first Apple stores in the country as well. So a lot of regulatory hurdles have been passed to get to this point. I think credit certainly goes to various policy changes made also by the government of India, and the fact that Apple chose to stick it out. It's not common. There are precious few countries where Apple has presence, where it has stores. There are a number of countries where, similar to India now, it has just a couple of stores, and we can see that Apple was most definitely welcomed in India for a long time. You can see that fanfare here. Indians have used Apple devices for a long time. Apple's founder, Steve Jobs, has had a very long association with India. Even from before he founded Apple, he was a spiritual man. He had his favorite Baba, Neem Karoli Baba. He used to visit here. And the man who invented, many would say, the smartphone and the Macintosh computer before it, has found a veritable fan base in India as a person, as a company, for its products. India is, of course, one of the most famous exporters of software services in the world. India uses a lot of Apple computers. The smartphone market of India is unrivaled in many terms. It also now has the distinction of being the world's most populous country as of yesterday, and it's very symbolic that no company can ignore India anymore, either from a market term in terms of its population, in terms of the scale it offers, and also from the economic leverage that it allows companies to have large base in India, to have large manufacturing in India, to have a successful operation here, to have sales and so on and so forth. And hence, this is a key moment. It signifies a lot more than the opening of a store. It's beyond and larger than the company in question. It's about a country. It's about the fact that a $1 trillion company, a company that has a revenue as well as a market cap that is larger than many countries, and certainly some of only the largest economies are larger than Apple in terms of market cap. It's about $1 trillion hovering around that mark. It cannot ignore India. And now you're starting to see, we'll show you some of the visuals and we'll speak to some of the people. These are the first customers also that are coming in through the lines. We'll also speak to some of them. If I can ask my VJ to bring